Hey guys, it's the power couple.
Yo.
I'm out of here.
I'm so cool.
Are you gonna do your stupid druid thing?
That was like 5 years ago.
We're off topic anyway. We haven't started topic. What topic?
Hot topic. Time for
I already called you an edgelord tonight.
It's time for the hot topic of today. This video, we're obviously in this. In the title.
You're fucking this up so badly.
I know.
We're doing our top 10 albums of 2016. Not that they're... Well, disclaimer, they're not all technically from 2016. It's just albums we listened to for the first time.
Yeah, and that we really enjoyed. We're going to put all of the albums that we mentioned here in the description.
Yes, you will do that.
Yeah, we'll do that, and then what we're gonna do is that Logan's gonna go first, and he's gonna tell him.
I'll try my best.
Yeah, tell his 10 albums, and then I'll tell mine. We might even have some of the same ones. You never know. Wink, wink. All right,
I've seen your list.
It's in your list.
Oh, gross.
Without further ado, let's
actually,
go.
I just want to go ahead and get out of the way. Both Sarah and I have different tastes. She listens to a bunch of rock, but that's because she likes the lyrics that are contained in those. And I like more musical stuff since I was in like the honors band in high school. I think more musically, so I tend to listen to more electronic, like house and such. But I've started trying to get into more lyrical stuff, but easy stuff like maybe like a little bit of like rap where the vocalist is focused. Like we're in rock, you have so many instruments and a vocalist. We're in rap, you have maybe like low production, but you can sometimes really understand what the person is saying, unless they're saying it really fast or they're not saying anything interesting. As most of the stuff you hear nowadays.
As most of the top 40s, and I don't think either of us listen to the radio at this point. I only listen to like 3 radio stations.
I mean, I had to whenever I had to drive my dad's car, but whatever.
Yeah. So without further ado, let's start with your honorable mentions.
I'll say what I want to do.
Okay.
I'm gonna do my honorable mentions.
I'm the leader. I tell you when your honorable mentions.
Okay, so my honorable mentions. These are some that just didn't make the list, but I listened to, and most of them are probably on here because I didn't listen to them enough. And that probably goes through most of my list. There's some things I just focus on too much, or I just kept listening to stuff that I've had previous to this last year, since it's now 2017 when we're recording this. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Does it?
Yep.
Does it?
Yep.
Okay. These albums include the Black Album by Metallica. We got that.
Nice.
Like middle fall. I was already exposed to Enter Sandman, but I was happy to hear some of their other tracks. I know you really want to get Master of Puppets.
Yeah.
Immortalized by Disturbed. I really love the first track. Or technically it's the second, but the one that builds up to it still adds to it. I like that. The Light. As for their cover of Sound of Silence, I think it's okay. I haven't heard much of the original, but I'm not going to rant about it here. 10 by Pearl Jam. That's one of the ones we recently picked up. I haven't listened to enough. I first heard it live maybe a couple years ago. And hearing the rest of it so far, like I've pretty much had like a small playlist on shuffle, and what I've heard so far I've liked. Along with that was Superunknown by Soundgarden. I knew Black Hole Sun somehow. I think I got that song from a friend, but then after hearing when I listened to it, I already told you how I like Spoon Man.
Yeah, that's a good song.
Let's see. One is called... that didn't make any sense. One of the albums is Acid Rap by Chance the Rapper. I'm trying to get into his stuff.
I knew he was pretty good.
He released Coloring Book in 2016, I believe. And it was actually for free.
Oh.
So I wanted to, I heard some people talk about acid rap before, so I want to listen to that one and then Coloring Book.
Okay.
Pharmacy by Galantis. This was, I got this on a special from the Google Play Store. It was $1. And I seen some of Galantis stuff featured in the, sort of like the top 10s of the dance chart on iTunes, so I wanted to check it out, and it was $1. Same thing with Slipknot by Slipknot.
Oh my god, I forgot about that album, to be honest.
Yeah, I listened to it maybe once, but I was like, huh, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, my favorite albums, my favorite song, Scissors, by the way.
Don't you have, what, you got something by Slipknot in your collection,
Yeah,
right?
I did. Yeah.
Tell me the story of that.
What do you mean?
Like, how did you get that? Because I know how you went through a phase of Disturbed and that one band with the, who did Let the Bodies Hit the Floor.
Oh, Drowning Pool.
Yeah.
Okay, so what happened was, there was, this is like, he called me edgelord, and I kind of was at that point, I'm not even gonna lie.
Hot Topic.
Yeah.
Converse wearing hippologic.
I mean...
That's not a word.
That's not a word. Yeah. That's not even a word, and I agree with you.
Reference. Ah.
But, okay. So, basically what had happened is that there was a really, really, really well-made Naruto, like, AMV, if you don't know what an AMV is.
Better than really, 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 really?
If you don't know what an AMV is, it's an anime music video, and I used to look up a whole bunch of those, and that's actually how I came across a lot of the music. That's how I found 3 Days Grace. That's how I found 30 Seconds, and Tomorrow's, and then that's how I found Slipknot. The first song I heard by them was it was back whenever Volume 3 was released, and that was Before I Forget.
Okay, real question. If you were to watch any of those today, how much would you cringe?
The ones that I watched are really good, so I don't think.
Okay. I don't know.
They were like really well made.
I've never watched an anime music video, so watching I'd be like,
I could try to find a good one for you. Anyway, okay. And then it was
she can't hear me.
I believe it was the fight between Naruto and Sasuke, like in the waterfall thing, and that was
really?
Yeah. It's cliche, I know, but like it was, and I was like, wow, this is a really good song, and so I listened to that. I listened to it because all I could do was I couldn't buy music. I had to like listen to it on YouTube, and because I had to ask permission from my parents if I wanted to buy something, and then they didn't care, and they just let me buy whatever. Anyway, and then so I listened to a couple of other songs, and then...
And we don't care about that right now.
Yeah, and in 9th grade I got into them, and that's how that happened. I
shouldn't have asked in the first place. That took up so much time. I haven't gone to number 10.
That's okay. This is a podcast. It's not like...
Your podcast.
Thanks. Story time is over.
Okay. So I'll get into my list. Number 10, I have Rolling Papers by Wiz Khalifa.
That's a lovely name.
It's very
explicit.
Yeah, I can't think of the word.
Yeah.
Suggestive.
Suggestive.
It's suggestive. Another one that was $1 on the Google Play Store this year. I already knew No Sleep on it. Something I just like about Wiz Khalifa is that in this album, unlike some of the rap albums I've listened to, like probably I've listened to mostly Eminem and a little bit of A$AP Rocky. I'm not weird collection, I know, but I'm trying to expand it. But with Wiz Khalifa, he's a bit more, I guess I want to say, chill. Yeah. I mean, that sounds so millennial to say, I guess.
Yeah.
But like his raps or his lines, he say at a slower tempo or a slower speed, and so like I said, it's really easy for me to understand what he's saying, though it may not be the most artistic meaning. It's just something I can actually listen to. I would have to, unlike say an Eminem album where I would have to pull up the lyric sheet, because he probably talks about a bunch of stuff in his music. But yeah,
it's just
I would
like to listen to.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I would say favorite tracks on that are No Sleep and probably Roll Up.
Okay.
I mean,
yeah.
Well, he wasn't talking about rolling up like a blunt. He was actually talking about like in a car. I guess. Like meetings. Because he he was like I think he was meeting someone. Because like he's in it. He was like, you can call me, I'll be there or something like that. I can't recall right now. Let's see. Moving on. Number 9, I put Nevermind by Nirvana. It could technically be higher, but I haven't listened to it enough. But this was one I listened to before I bought it. And Nirvana's definitely or Nevermind is what is a classic now or something like that, right? Yeah. You're gonna talk about that more. I know that.
Yeah.
As for my input, I just need to listen to it more and probably look at the lyrics to it. But I really like the production on some of the songs. Like, it makes me feel like I'm like in water or something. Like the same feeling I get when I listen to that one Blue October song. The really popular one.
Oh, Into the Ocean?
Yeah. I mean, granted, the title gives it away.
Yeah.
But I sort of get the same feeling.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
And I got you.
It's kind of relaxing, even though what they're talking about is probably not as relaxing.
No, with some of the lyrics, you're just like, what the fuck did he just say?
Yeah, that one with the acoustic guitar, where it was like, Polly wants a cracker.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, like, once I told him what it was about, he was like, oh, okay.
Okay, moving on. At number 8, I have Hybrid Theory by Linkin Park. You bought this one, say, I think in the summer, and then towards the middle of it is when I first listened to it. Granted, my first Linkin Park album was...
Living Things.
Yeah, Living Things. How embarrassing, right?
No, not really. Everybody says so, but Living Things is good too. Yeah,
I have Living Things and Hunting Party. But listen to what they originally... recorded, I can tell why a lot of people were into it back in, what was this, the 90s or was it the early 2000s?
It came out in 2001, I think.
Yeah.
So really early.
Okay. I mean, granted, it definitely sounds like quote unquote angsty or whatever, but I really like the energy they put into this. A lot of songs. It's definitely if I listened to it at the time, it definitely would be a little bit a little shocking, I guess. But I really like the energy they put into it.
Yeah, that awkward moment whenever I thought Crawling was really screamy.
It's much worse. But it's still okay.
Yeah.
Favorite track on that?
Difficult.
Yeah. One Step Closer and probably In the End, but then those are some of those probably their most popular tracks.
There's like 5 tracks on there that has that plays on the radio. Yeah. So,
and none of them I disapprove of or dislike. I when they had that switch where it was sort of like. There's that, I don't know what the name of the track is, but it sounds like the background music was like a movie or a video game. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Are you talking about Cure for the Edge?
Probably.
The one whenever it's like, Mr. Hard.
I guess. Yeah. I don't. But, yeah, that threw me off, but not in a bad way, because it sounded pretty cool. I don't think I have anything else. You want to add anything to about Hybrid Theory?
Well, they brought something new that hadn't before. Like lots of people have put metal and rap together, but
they're considered
new metal,
like NU or something.
Yeah, new metal.
Okay.
And that was a fairly new concept. There were several failed attempts to do that.
Yeah, but they made it work.
Yeah, they made it work in a really interesting and dynamic way.
I really like my Shinoda.
Yeah.
And Chester can sing.
Yeah. Yeah, that boy has some lungs.
Chester the cheetah.
Oh my god.
Has there been a picture of Chester Bennington with Cheetos?
I don't know.
That'd be really funny.
We should look that up, yeah.
Okay, I'm moving on. I'm on number 7 now. Enema of the State by Blink-182. Um, where do I start with this one? I think I knew All the Small Things, and then there was one other one I can't remember.
What's My Age Again?
I think I heard that one before, and then you bought it at some point, and then I listened to it, and I really like how the two vocalists work off each other.
Yeah, and I just like how, if I may add, I just like how fun that album is.
Yeah, and then real emotional part was when one of the songs actually had meaning in our lives, because you actually, like we mentioned before, you went away to a different university. What track was that about?
Oh, it was called Going to College.
Yeah, and then when you sent me the link to that, I have to be honest, I cried.
Oh, that's
I don't cry at a lot of things, but yeah, so that album sort of has a place in my heart now. But yeah, Blink-182, I liked them. Well, this album, I don't know about much of the other stuff though, which I probably say about a bunch of artists. Like I mostly try to get into the stuff they were best known for. It's a rare occurrence I try to get into most of the other things they make. Like Linkin Park, I'm probably excited for the next album, but I probably won't be excited for like another Blink-182 or Green Day album, which actually happened, I believe.
Yeah, it did.
So I don't know how those turn out, and I don't have a real urge to buy them. You might, because taste I already mentioned.
Yeah.
Okay, number 6. I'm gonna say AA. I think that's how it's pronounced, by Bauer.
Isn't that the dude who made the Harlem Shake?
Yeah, but I think he really wanted to put that behind him, because he wanted to be known for other music besides just the meme, and so this album kind of shows that he experiments with a bunch of genres, and he features a bunch of different people. I know there's one song with Pusha T and Future that just sounds like your typical rap song, but I find it okay. I just listen to it a bunch, really. I just like how it sounds, and that's all I can pretty much say about some of these albums. I just like how the artist implements samples, or just some of the theming behind. Well, there's not much theme behind dance music. I don't know. Following that would be Northern Lights by Zeds Dead. A lot of these I picked up because I saw them live, and I really enjoyed the show. As for Zeds Dead, it's definitely I don't know how to describe it. I'm really bad at this.
Listen to it.
Yeah, it's just that some of the sounds I hear from it, I would say this one's a bit more light, because this one's more on the dubstep side, but they experiment with different genres too. Where Bauer, he's definitely a bit more trappish, but it's sort of, it's a genre called glitch hop, if that makes sense to you. It's like, I guess, more like hip hop from before, where it wasn't just like one bass note the entire time, where they actually probably had drums playing, stuff like that.
Okay.
So yeah, Northern Lights. I love a lot of the vocalists on there. I probably can't name most of them, but the vocalists that Zeds Dead picked for their tracks, they sound wonderful on here, except for the one with I want to say Pusha T on it. That one's kind of odd.
There's another Pusha T?
No, wait, what?
You said Pusha T on the last one too.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, people are trying. I think there was one track in like 2015 that sort of kicked off his career.
Okay.
It was like in that Arby's commercial.
Oh, okay. Got
you. Know what I'm
then
talking
we
about?
got the meats one.
Yeah, something like that. Okay, I'm moving on. Number 4, Virus by Excision.
I remember you love this guy.
Yeah, I got into him back towards the end of high school. I listened to one of his mixtapes, and then I listened to more of his mixtapes, and then I bought Codename X, and then this one. He's probably the second. Well, when it comes to heavy bass dubstep kind of stuff, he's probably number 1 on my list of people I like. unlike most, his production is a lot better in my opinion. Like, that would be something I'd recommend to you instead of some other people. It's also 16 tracks long.
That's a lot.
That's a lot for an electronic artist. I mean, granted, he collabs with like the same person a bunch of times, but each track I really like so far. I would say my favorite. Well, I forgot to mention favorites for the other ones. AA. I would have to say the first one after the intro, because the intro is not an actual track. The one that follows I really like. I think it's called Churches. I don't know. Northern Lights. I don't remember what it's called. I just say I like most of them. I can't remember a favorite. Virus, though, I would have to say Throwing Elbows. And I would like to categorize Excision as sort of like metal dubstep, because he would like to throw in like actual guitar riffs in some of his tracks. I think it would be something you would like just a little bit. Yeah. Moving on, I got Overlord by Eptic, another dubstep person I like. The first 3 tracks on here I've heard a lot at shows, and I like him a lot. Those being Cosmic, Swords and Dragons, and Nightshade. Again, not much to say. I just really like how they sound. Next we have Death of a Bachelor by Panic at the Disco. I say we had a lot of hype behind this one coming in at the beginning of 2015.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
This record was released in January, like at the very beginning of 2016, I believe, and I listened to it through at least half the year.
Me too.
I think I was hooked with Emperor's New Clothes, that music video that came out.
Yeah, that music. I watched that music video at least 10 times. The day it came out.
It was gripping. As for the record itself, I really love the first half of it. The second half kind of falls short for me, like, but I say at the beginning I didn't like it as much, but later as I listened to it more, I was like, I wasn't like that, my bad. Second half, just, I started listening to it more and I started liking it.
Is that like around the House of Memories area?
Yeah. Or Golden Days.
Yeah.
Like, lyrically, it's not the same as, say, at the beginning, because he just goes, Golden Days.
I know, it's catchy as shit, though.
Yeah. But if that's just the chorus, then...
Yeah.
But then again, I listen to electronic, so that's what some are like. I want to say favorite tracks on there. Don't Threaten Me with a Good Time.
Yes.
Victorious. Emperor's New Clothes. And of the title track, Death of a Bachelor. That's definitely... I listened to that one a lot, and I'll probably listen to it more this year. Maybe. I don't know. And then my number one, I'm going to give to Big Gigantic with their album Brighter Future. They were at the same show as I saw Aa-Bauer and Zeds Dead, but... I really love how they incorporate jazz music into different genres of electronic. So when I saw him at show, it's a duo. You have someone playing drums, although I don't know why he had cornrows for his hair. It was weird, but I ignored that. And then you have a guy playing a tenor saxophone, and they incorporate that into each of their songs. So most of the time it's trap, glitch hop, or house, but I don't know, it just really clicks with me. Anything with jazz, I incorporate into either electronic or even like alternative. So
that's why Death of a Bachelor was really good for you.
Yeah, I guess I forgot to mention that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I couldn't stop listening to Brighter Future. That's why it's my number one. Like, every time I would be like, hey, what can I listen to right now? And I saw Brighter Future, I was like, really wanting to, even though I knew I had to listen to something else.
Yeah, I get it.
I had that feeling, and I felt like that's what had to be my number one. My favorite track on there would be I actually wrote this one down. Miss Primetime. That'd be the first track, but it definitely sets the album up. It sounds so great to me. And then they not only do they include vocalists, but they also include rappers, and it sounds brilliant to me. That's my top 10, even though I couldn't elaborate on much, unfortunately.
That's okay.
I mean,
that's why we're linking the artist anyway.
You mean the albums we're talking about?
Yeah, the albums we're talking about anyway.
I'm sure the more we talk about this, it'll be easier for me to explain.
Yeah, and I don't like. I'm not going to understand like a lot of his music. Like a lot of I looked at his list just now, and I was like, what is that?
I mean, that's just us. Like, we both have things we enjoy together, but then we have separate tastes, but we try to slowly show each other them.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, I probably listened to more MCR this year than I have prior.
Ever, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I actually didn't put an MCR album. Are you proud of me?
No. Because you've listened to all of them before. They've not released anything new. I mean, besides the Gerard.
Don't remind me.
Besides that Gerard.
That came out in 2015, though. So.
I know.
Okay. All right. So, moving on. Let's go to my top 10. I'm going to start with my honorable mentions.
And it's probably going to be a bit more elaborate than whatever I said.
Yeah, but that's okay. And y'all can... I mean, to anybody who's still listening, thanks. But,
wink, 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 wink.
Yeah. So for my honorable mentions, I also picked 10 by Pearl Jam. Well, let me just elaborate on this a little bit. Okay, so
using that word.
So I already told you I already told you guys in the 2016 overall thoughts video, if y'all want to check that out, that I had joined a band, and we did. We had to pick a theme because that's what the School Rock did, and what we picked was Nirvana versus Smashing Pumpkins. So, I got really got into. I mean, I had already heard of a lot of it before, but I had started to really get into grunge music, and so that's part of the reason why I picked 10. I basically looked at the album and I knew like more than half of the songs. My favorite.
I only knew Alive.
Really? I knew all of them.
I think I mentioned that. I don't remember.
Yeah.
It was 10 minutes ago at least.
A lot of these songs I've heard in my childhood. Like, for example, Alive I've heard. And then Jeremy I've heard. I used to have an uncle named Jeremy. He was kind of funny. So he would hate it whenever I would sing it to him.
God, sir, don't bring that up again.
Yeah. And then, but my favorite song personally in that album would probably be Black, because that's the first full song I ever learned on guitar.
Oh, really?
Ever, yeah. And
I thought it was that Green Day song that you learned.
No, I didn't learn the whole thing.
Oh, you just learned the one part?
Yeah, like, I learned the whole thing of that song. It was made me feel really awesome.
Oh, boy.
And be like, hey, I can do this. And that's why I picked that one for an honorable mention. The next one I picked is Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness by the Smashing Pumpkins. And
that ties in with what you just said.
Yeah,
really.
with grunge. I really wanted to put this higher, but I didn't have room. So... How
did the Smashing Pumpkins appeal to you? Because I first heard Today on, like...
Guitar Hero.
Guitar Hero or Rock Band, maybe both.
I knew that song.
But, like, I don't know. I didn't like how nasally the vocalist sounded. Yeah. But I'd gotten used to it.
Honestly, like, I'm gonna be real. I hated the Smashing Pumpkins before 2016 with a passion. I hated them. But then, as I told you, we had to play their songs, and I, like, listened to some of the guitar riffs, specifically in this album. Like, for example, Zero. The harmonics on the guitar sound amazing, and I'm like, holy shit, excuse my language, like, this is awesome. And I got really I got really used to Billy Corgan's vocals because,
like I said,
because it there's like a couple of songs he does really well. Like, for example, though kind of whispery vocals, like in Today, whenever he goes, I wanna turn you on. That
we're gonna get fired for that.
Whatever.
It was so accurate.
It was so accurate. I just have to sound it as nasally as possible. Anyway, like that part, like sounds really really good, and the music video is really weird. By the way, he's an ice cream man.
Oh no, shit.
Yeah, and anyway, that one had to make my list.
I have to ask that. So it seems like you like that one for the production more than it lyrically. Is that right? So basically, how I think.
Not exactly, because my one of the best ones on there is Bullet with Butterfly Wings, and that one has a lot of lyrical content.
Well, I bet all of it does.
Yeah, sure.
Butterflies are nice too.
And that's their most popular song, by the way.
It's not. Today's not.
Well, today is one of them, but Bullet with Butterfly Wings, The World's Vampire is the number one. Yeah. And then, anyway, and the third one is, you guys probably are going to be like, really? But it's Superunknown by Soundgarden.
Hey, I said that one.
Yeah.
Well, you talk more about it because you know shit.
I knew about Soundgarden a lot because of my parents. I mean, I already knew Black Hole Sun whenever I was like maybe in 5th or 6th grade.
Damn.
And I knew Spoon Man was the second song I heard, but I think my favorite one is that I like Blow the World from the Outside, and I like Day I Tried to Live. Day I Tried to Live is probably my favorite one on this album. And I love me some Chris Cornell. I can just tell you that right now. I love his...
Just set that for my menu. I want a course of Chris Cornell.
Yes, please. I will listen to anything he writes. If it's Temple of the Dog, if it's Audio Slave, if it's his singles, I will listen to it. It's because he's such a good vocalist. Like I wish I could have an ounce of talent that he has.
What if he did something with Kanye West?
No, because Kanye West considers himself to be the greatest rock star. But
I don't know if Chris Cornell wrote the lyrics for everything.
I mean, he did something with a country artist, which was interesting. Which it's called Black Dog. Y'all should look it up. Anyway, I really really liked Superunknown because it's kind of nostalgic for me because my parents used to listen to it all the time.
So you cheated.
Whatever. Like but now I own it, so it's helpful.
Yeah, you listened to the entire album.
Yeah. So let me get to the actual top 10, down in the nitty gritty.
Is nitty gritty on there?
No, I don't even know if that's
It's a song.
Oh, okay. Number 10 is Threat to Survival by Shinedown. I think this one came out in 2016, didn't it?
I think so. I'm the one who bought that one.
Yeah, and he gave it to me because we really liked Cut the Cord.
We heard it on the radio once, and I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool. And then I saw it was $1 on the Google Play Store. Yeah,
I had already heard of Shinedown before because Sound of Madness was a great song and album. And obviously their most popular song that most people know is Second Chance.
A lot of the tracks on that song, that song on that record, I pretty enjoyed.
Yeah, I think my favorite tracks is probably either Black Cadillac or I like Asking for It.
Yeah, that one.
Those two are really really good, and it's just some nice fresh new alternative that's probably one of the better alternative bands that I've heard.
It doesn't sound like your typical radio stuff that you hear all the time. Yeah, and it almost sounds like I took a step back in 2009, and it was really really nice, and I really really enjoyed it. Congratulations.
All right, and then number 9 is actually a game soundtrack. You
already explained this.
Yeah, I already explained it. If y'all want to take a look back in the 2016 video, yeah. Well, but it's Undertale Soundtrack by Toby Fox. I would have to say that the soundtrack, even if I just hear a little snippet of it, on shuffle on my phone, I'm like, holy shit, turn it up.
Crank it up name or whatever.
Yeah. And it's because, I haven't had a soundtrack move me in so much since,
Kingdom Hearts.
Since Kingdom Hearts 2, and that was a long time ago. And
technically, I think I got that soundtrack 2016. I can't remember.
Yeah. Anyway, and I suggest y'all should play the game.
We already did.
Yeah, definitely will. If you hadn't heard to play the game. Please.
So why do you like the soundtrack?
The soundtrack? Well, like, one guy did it by himself. Number one, that's amazing. And then number two, a lot of the songs, like, are, like, have pieces of each other inside of them, which I found super fascinating. Like, I like stuff like that.
Yeah, parts of one track into the other.
Yeah, or like it might be a different tone, or it might be like a different
A lot of them were throwback to a program called FL Studio, which most people who want to get into production started with, I believe.
Yeah, and so my favorite tracks out of all of those is that I like.
Sure, we can make like a separate video on this.
Yeah, I like the one that's titled in all caps.
That's Papyrus.
That's
right?
Papyrus's theme.
Okay.
And then I liked Undyne's theme.
It's almost like you said the same thing twice.
Yeah, I know.
If you were talking to anyone else, they'd be like, "What?"
Like, what? Yeah, yeah. And then my third one's probably Hopes and Dreams. That's like that's really good. And like I haven't even like looked at the game forever, and I still get excited whenever I see it on the next coming up list on Shuffle. I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, I don't think I remember a soundtrack I just wanted to listen to. Like, this, I think for like an entire week, it was the only thing I would listen to.
Yeah, I've done that before, definitely. Number 8, I have in the 8 slot, I also have, pretty close to yours actually, is Enema of the State. And, well, I listened to Blink-182 for a long time.
You could say that about a bunch of bands.
Yeah, like with in my old freshman year days. Yeah, which was obnoxious. Anyway.
You were obnoxious.
I think most people were.
So was I.
I said most people, so
was I.
Oh my god, shut up. Anyway, you're cramping my style. Stop.
I threw off your groove.
Yeah, I threw off my groove. Well, the reason why I picked this one is because, like I said, there's a specific song, like he said, there's a specific song called Going to College, and I had listened to it before, obviously. And
you're like, oh, cool, this is a song.
But then I had heard, it came up on Shuffle, and I heard it, and I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna cry, because this is exactly what we're dealing with, because what the song's about. It's about a boy who goes to college, and he's trying to write his girlfriend, and they miss each other terribly, and basically they're saying I love yous and stuff, and like it was a very emotional time for both of us, so I thought it was kind of a nice present. And it's kind of weird because the entire album before that is like all about partying and having sex and doing drugs and stuff like that.
Hey, that's what the cool kids do.
I know, but Blink has always been about that. It's been always kind of like slapstick, and that's what I like about them. They're fun, they're lighthearted. I think my favorite song on there, as of right now, is called Mutt, and then I also really like Adam's song.
Who's Adam?
Oh, story time. So it's a...
We've had plenty of story times.
But I'll try to keep it simple. So they got a suicide note from a guy named Adam, and he had died. And he was like and he was like their biggest fan, and he had passed away, so they wrote a song about him.
Oh.
It plays on the radio all the time.
Oh, like I would know.
Yeah, I mean, the first lines are, I never thought I'd die alone. So, like, it's pretty depressing, but it's a really good song.
Okay.
And then number 7, I picked the Black Album by Metallica.
Now, you listen to this more than I have.
Yeah, I mean, I actually learned how to play Inner Sandman a little bit.
Hey, so did I in high school.
Yeah, but on a horn. You
being hornist?
Oh my god. But I I mean, it was a lot easier than I thought it was gonna be. And it was a lot of fun to learn it. That's probably the reason why I picked it. And then and then like, I honestly I used to not like Metallica as much either. But once I started playing my own instrument, I really found respect for instrumental. Like, I mean, my favorite song by Metallica is on here, and that's one, by the way. But my favorite one on the Black Album would probably be Sad But True.
Sand Patrol?
Yeah, Sand Patrol. And then I like Through the Never. That one's pretty good.
Through the what?
Through the Never.
Never.
Yeah. Through the Never. That's what it's called. And then it was just some nice nice thrash metal. It was just great. Like, it was something that you could headbang to in your car at like 6 a.m.
Could do the same with Excision.
Yeah.
Shameless plug.
But that's too bassy for me.
God, I still don't understand that.
Yeah. Okay.
Your ears are weird.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, and then number 6 is Ram by Daft Punk.
Oh yeah. Random Access Memories.
Yeah. Logan had given me this, and at first I was like, I guess it's great.
Yeah, I bought that. Oh god, I don't remember. I think it was 2014. When I bought that.
Yeah, you had it for a long time, and you finally gave it to me. But it was the reason why I put that as my list is because of a specific song, and that was "Touch," featuring Paul Williams. I just love that song.
I think you said that about a different song at a different album not too long ago.
Yeah, but like I heard it, and like even though it's a pretty long song, like 8 minutes.
Typical. Electronic house song.
Yeah, I mean Metallica songs like the one I just mentioned, Through the Never, is like 7-minute song.
Oh fuck.
Yeah. Anyway, Touch, like it. I used to be in color guard, and we did a lot of dancing and like routines, and this just seems like it just brought me back to like whenever we would perform, and I could picture like someone dancing or touching, like stuff. Like, just, like, I can picture, like, a symphony in my own head, if you know what I mean. Like a ballroom full of people dancing.
So you wouldn't like the album for that one song?
No, there's a bunch of other ones that I like, but I think that...
I mean, Get Lucky.
Yeah, obviously. But, like, I think that's the one that I was like, I love this album. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's still one... I'm getting too picky.
Yeah.
Now, have you listened... Did I ever give you Discovery?
Yeah, I had both.
Okay, so why put Ram instead of Discovery?
Because I like that song.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot.
You, like, exploded the microphone. Anyway.
No, it's still right here.
Anyway. I just really like that song. Like, I used to do this all the time as a little kid, but, like, whenever I would sit in the back seat, I would go off to my own little world. And with this specific song, I could do that again. And
shit, how'd you do that? Can you teach me?
And stop. And then there was like, I could just go off into my own head and like, imagine all sort. I'm really imaginative, so I could like go off to my own world and not think about anything that was happening to me currently.
For a car trip, that's what you kind of need to do.
Yeah, exactly.
There's nothing else.
That's what I'm saying.
Do.
So whenever I would ride the bus, I would listen to that, and I would be, instead of thinking, oh, I need to study for this test, I could relax.
But that's still important. I get what you're saying.
Okay. All right.
Like you're gonna punch me.
I am. Like, you're judging me. I'm just like, stop.
Well, you could have judged me for what I said.
I didn't, though.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, judger.
No, you judge people too.
Number 5 is I picked the Blue Album by Weezer. And we had seen Weezer with Panic at the Disco in the summer before, so I decided to get their first album. And I already knew a lot of their hits. So... Like, first, one of my favorite songs on there is the Sweater Song.
Oh, you always talk about that one.
Yeah, that one's hilarious. Because I just love how weird and interesting Weezer is, because they kind of have the surf rock thing like the Beach Boys a little bit. I mean, not as harmonic like the Beach Boys are, but like they obviously have surf rock influences, which is awesome. And that brings to my favorite song on the album right now is the track Surf Wax America.
Excuse me?
Surf Wax America, like that's the title.
I've heard worse.
Yeah, and then
So what is
it?
Explain.
It's really, really catchy, and I had never heard it before because, like, a lot of their songs are really beaten to death, and if you know what I mean. And then so it was it was something fresh. It was something new. Organic. It was really, really, and it was really, really exciting to listen to, and it still had that weird vibe that Weezer always gets. Like, for example, it's that, like, the chorus is talking about, you take your car to work, but I'll take my board. And so it's, like, goofy, and I love that.
My only problem is that why does their logo look like the Wonder Woman symbol?
I don't know. Ask them. And then they're a whole bunch of nerds doing a bunch of garage rock, and that's what's just likable. I like that. And then, okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and move on to my number 4, and it's getting to the really, really good stuff.
They probably won't shut up.
I mean, in all of the other albums I mentioned too are really good. It's just that these 4 are top 4.
It's kind of like a huge recommendation list that we're doing.
Yeah. And then number 4, I would suggest listening to Toxicity by System of a Down. And also...
That's a weird story right there.
Yeah, and also, I also heard that they're making a new album. They hadn't made one in 12 years.
Oh, shit.
Toxicity was their last one.
Oh, really?
So, yeah. So I'm really, really excited about it.
No, your dad originally had this one.
Yeah, my dad had this. And so obviously everybody knows the single. I mean, it's been a meme many times, but or on Vine or whatever, and it's called, and their lead single on this album is called Chop Suey, and then we originally heard Bounce by System of a Down. It's on this album.
It was on the theatrical trailer of Secret Life of Pets.
Yeah, for Secret Life of Pets.
Thunk it?
So we like Shazammed it, and like it was a Bounce, and so which is a weird song to begin with.
Like, we knew, like, it was on Toxicity, and I was like, holy shit, I want to pull that up when we leave because I think we were seeing Zootopia at the time, and so when we drove home, we listened to her, like,
yeah,
this is so goofy and yet hardcore, it's amazing.
Yeah, that's why, that's like, but like, they are in this, they kind of have this, a little bit of the same vibe as Weezer with their goofiness.
Like, freaking... have Weezer and, like, I don't know who's hardcore enough to meet the standards of System of a Down to fuse with
Korn, I guess.
But maybe with a little butter.
But what was surprising, since I had heard Chop Suey and Bounce, I honestly, my first impression was, okay, it's really, really silly, it's goofy. That's what I was expecting out of this album, but I was wrong, dead wrong. Like it first starts with the first song, Prison Song, which is probably one of my favorites, and it's talking about a bunch of social issues that are happening in America right now.
Even right now.
I mean, it was back pre 9/11.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So there was that, and then. And it still talks about some of the issues that are important today. So it had the Prison Song, and I think Deer Dance is a very, very good song as well. And those are actually the first 2 tracks. And then, like, if you're really, really into some like, heavy lyrics with social implications that a lot of, like, punk bands and like, rappers nowadays have, I would suggest looking up into Toxicity. It really, really pleasantly surprised me, and I was like, wow, that's great. And then I'm really excited I'm really excited for their new album now. I mean, they said that it's not going to be Toxicity Part 2, but I'm hoping it might be a little something like that.
Oh, okay, I see what you did.
Yeah, and then I'm going to move on to the number 3. number 3 is Immortalized by Disturbed.
Hey,
And the reason why we picked a lot of the same ones. The reason why I have mine higher is because, well, I'm a huge Disturbed fan.
You're the OG.
Yeah. I started listening to Disturbed in 8th grade, and my parents wouldn't let me see a concert, and then they went on hiatus, and I got really upset. And then they came out with this album, and I was like, oh boy, I can feel like I'm 13 again. and I was really pleasantly surprised because I got the deluxe album, and they had maybe 20 tracks. It was awesome, much. And a lot of them were really, really good. I mean, they kind of beat Sound of Silence to death, but it's still a great song.
Yeah, I saw that on a bunch of advertisements.
Yeah, I've seen it in a couple of video game ads too.
Gears of War 4.
Yeah. But even though it's a good song, I heard it all the time, so I was just like, okay, that's nice.
I get it.
Yeah, I think my 2 favorite, I'm just gonna pick 2, but there's so many of them that I suggest y'all listen to. The first one is What Are You Waiting For?
So what you waiting for?
Tell me what you waiting for.
That one's been on the radio.
Yeah, and that's a good one. And then one of them is actually one of their bonus tracks that I have is called Brave and the Bold. Guitar track. It's awesome. That's the best I've heard, the guitar sound. And by the way, Disturbed is really good live. They sounded exactly the same.
There was not as much fire as I hoped.
Well, they couldn't. It was a small stage.
It was indoors.
Yeah.
Did they use a lot of fire outdoors?
No, if it was a bigger venue, at JAXA, yeah, they would have had fire. Yeah, but since it was at House Blues, no. Well, yeah, so I suggest y'all listen to that. It's really, really good. He's actually not that difficult to understand. So, well, in this album, at least.
Yeah, say in Thousand Fist or...
Believe. That's hard to listen to.
What's that one I really like?
Indestructible.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say that Immortalized and Indestructible are a lot alike, and Indestructible is really good, so that should tell you how good Immortalized is. Number 2, I actually have... it's kind of funny because he put this is his number 2 also, is Death of a Bachelor by Panic at the Disco.
Cheater.
Except I have different reasons for liking it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, obviously I like the music videos and stuff they had put out, but I really dissected this album. I listened to all the different harmonies because if you guys don't know, Brendan Urie, he made this mostly by himself, which is incredible in its own right.
Since you're used to everything they've done before.
Yeah. I mean, every album they've ever produced is different from the last one.
Yeah, the one before this one was my first one.
Yeah.
And
it was good.
I liked the production on that one as well.
And it was a lot of the same production.
Yeah, but this one was a bit more upbeat and,
yeah, it was
kind of upbeat, I mean.
It was upbeat. It was really, what I really liked was a lot of the harmonies they used, because specifically what he was going for is that he was looking for an LA vibe, because like California based. But what I loved most about it is that a lot of his songs were based off of Frank Sinatra and some of the old timey singers or the crooners of the Tin Pan Alley days, and I thought that was amazing. For example, Death of a Bachelor, the title track is probably the best Frank Sinatra impression I've ever heard, if I could say that.
I couldn't, because I haven't listened to a lot of Sinatra.
Yeah, you can really hear the influence, and it sounds gorgeous on his voice. I mean, obviously he has a better vocal range than Sinatra did, but not to...
Or Adam Levine.
But it was really, really good. I would have to say the 2 tracks that I personally loved was the first one would be LA Devotee.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
Yeah, I like that one because there's a lot of really, really swingy there's a horn line number 1, so that goes back to the old crooner days with the horn line in the background. And then there's really swingy, upbeat vocals, and that he layers on top of himself, and it sounds amazing. And then...
I feel like my explanation was is quite inferior to what you're saying.
It's okay. We just listen to music differently. That's subjective. Like, that's what music's about. And then the number one track that I really liked was Don't Threaten Me with a Good Time. That one's good too. But the one that I'm talking about is Crazy Equals Genius.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, mainly.
I didn't like it at first. I was like, that's a weird way to start the chorus.
Because like basically, what it feels like, I'm inside of like a big concert hall, and like with one of those old timey like the curtains go down, and with the big band, you see the big band come out, and all of a sudden you see the guy come out and he's got the slick back hair and he's singing. And that's what I pictured, and then it even has like background vocals like you would in like the 50s, which is awesome. And I think my favorite thing about it is that he says, well, crazy equals genius, and he's comparing that to the likes of Brian Wilson, who is, if y'all don't know, who is the singer/producer of the Beach Boys, who he was amazing, like artist and stuff like that.
I think I had more amazings on the previous.
Yeah, amazing, and then, but like he just ended up going crazy, and that's what he means. Like, well, crazy equals genius, and I'm gonna be like a arsonist or like stuff like that. It's just really, really catchy, and it'll get stuck in your head for days. I can guarantee.
I can vouch for that.
Yeah, I can guarantee that.
Not that I enjoy it every time it happens.
Yeah, and it also has a really, really nice break, with showing off the horn section, and which is nice, and the vocals, like I said, are great. And now comes the number one album, that I picked, which is Nevermind by Nirvana.
Hooray.
He looked at it. It's funny because he looked at my list and he was like, I knew it. It was kind of funny. Well,
mostly because each time we're in the car, you play it immediately.
Yeah, like I honestly, besides Death of a Bachelor, Nevermind was the album that I constantly listened to over and over and over again. I caught myself doing that. Explain. Well, like I said earlier in the honorable mentions section, I had played a lot of these songs before. Most of the songs I've heard of, I have played on this album, and so it was really near and dear to me. And like, I mean, Nirvana's always been around for me. I remember in 4th grade I had "Smells Like Teen Spirit" on my iPod. My old iPod, and that was the only song I had by them. And did
you have one of the square ones?
I had like the silver one.
Oh, that's right. I shared a square one with my sister.
I think I still have mine. I don't know where the charger is to it, so I probably can't use it.
Okay, the old one.
But yeah. But anyway, and then I would hear songs on like the mix, the 90s, 80s today mix, if you know what I mean. Radio stations.
Yeah. Like
I would hear "Come As You Are." I would hear "Lithium." I would hear all kinds of Nirvana, and so it's always been there. But I've been like, yeah, they're okay, band. I know they're good. But I had never appreciated the music more until I started playing it myself and performing it myself. I mean, let's be honest. Some of the stuff is a little sloppy, and
but they were arrogant when they recorded anyway.
Yeah. Which is why they were good to begin with, because it was
a bit more human.
Yeah, exactly, and like there's all kinds of tracks in this one. There's acoustic ones like Polly. There's
I mentioned that one.
Yeah, there's acoustic ones like Polly. There's really, really, really slow ones like Something's in the Way. There's really, really fast ones like Stay Away.
I like that one.
Yeah. And then, basically, all of the songs, I would have to say, are really good. Like, there's not a song that I didn't like.
I mentioned how I have a grunge playlist. I know whenever like their sound is so unique that each time a Nirvana song is played, I just immediately know.
Yeah, and they're like the poster boys for grunge to begin with.
True.
And I am like, and I always get so angry at being born like in the late 90s because I missed such a great era of music that I was like, dang it, I wish I could have seen
and
that.
And now you have people who are totally unaware.
I know, and it's so sad. Like, I see people like Forever 21 and they have Nirvana shirts, and I'm like, they probably don't know who that is.
But you don't know. You don't talk to people like that.
Yeah, I know. But there's also people who have Kiss shirts and stuff, and I'm like, you don't know who that is.
Seriously? I've not seen.
I've seen a Motley Crue shirt before, and I'm like, they don't know who that is.
Do they
were like 7. I was like, oh no.
Well, you don't know, like.
They also had a Barbie
just
backpack.
One time.
So I don't think so.
Just one person. I just want to be like, oh, you know Nirvana?
Yeah, but I have done that before, and they'd be like, oh, I just like this shirt, and I was like,
you grab them, you just throw them away.
Shake them. Oh. But anyway, I have to narrow it down to 2, and it hurts me to do that because like I said, all of these are good. But the 2 that I recommend that I really like, I like Lithium a lot. And then I really like the bass in that song. It's like really, really good. They have a lot of good bass in their songs, actually.
And I thought you hated bass.
No, I don't like the deep bass.
Oh, you mean sub?
Yes, that's what I mean. And then like they actually have a lot of bass kind of solos where that's the only thing that's playing.
Yeah. How would you compare it to, say, something like Red Hot Chili Peppers?
No, Red Hot Chili Peppers, like, their basses is way better.
It sounded like you said chocolate milk.
Chocolate milk. Yeah, that's fine. Flea, the bassist, is way better.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because he can do a lot more things with his bass. But that's also because they kind of have a funky sound. That's the reason why for that.
There's a bit more funk.
Yeah, that's why. But we're getting off topic. But and the other song I recommend is called, the name is a little questionable. It's called Territorial Pissings.
Gross.
Yeah. Well, a lot of their songs are nasty, which I think is great for me because I still laugh at farts. So.
Most people do.
Yeah, and like I still laugh at like pee jokes and stuff like that. So.
Oh boy.
So that's my top 10. Like I said, we're gonna put all the albums that we mentioned in the description. Y'all should really check them out. Please, I'd rather you didn't torrent these, because, like, that's one of my pet peeves, I have to say, because if you really, really like the artist, you should pay them because they deserve it. Unless they're absolutely assholes, then do it. But like, if you really, really like the artist and you want them to make more stuff, then you should be able to reward them, and that's just a nice thing to do.
I didn't know you were going to do this PSA at the end.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, like, looking forward to 2017, what we listen to. Yeah,
looking forward to 2017. I'm definitely... I'm still waiting for that Linkin Park album. They haven't made it yet. They haven't, like, announced even the name yet.
Yeah, I know I'm interested in the Gorillaz album coming up.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I think I'm just going to be more optimistic. I definitely tried listening to new things this past year, and I'll probably continue that to this year. Yeah. I don't know.
I need to catch up on Metallica, that's so I can listen to their new album that came out last year.
Oh, right.
That I heard was absolutely fire. Like, it was awesome.
Oh, God, are you using modern language?
I mean, like
you think it was really good?
Yeah, I heard it was really good, because one of my friends who was like a really big Metallica fan, like he's told me like some albums that they had are absolute garbage, and then like I was like really curious what he was going to say about this one, and he said it's really good, and so I was like, cool, I'll listen to it then.
Yeah, I just can't make any predictions. Like, if we were to do this again a year from now, I don't know of anything that can be.
Yeah, and it's only like couple days past New Year's, so who knows. Well, thanks for whoever listened this far. Appreciate you. Make sure you like. Make sure
an hour in.
Yeah, make sure you like. Make sure you subscribe, and be sure to check out our playlist and any videos that seem interesting to you.
We got a couple more top 10s to cover.
Yep, definitely. See you then. Bye.
See ya.